how I manifested 3 dream homes during times that things really weren't going our way or as planned. They were going our way, but they weren't going as planned as we'd imagined they would, right? Life happened unexpectedly. Hey, Carrie. Hey, Lisa. Thanks for watching live. I'm going to share with you how when life didn't go as planned, we set our sights to utilize that experience to attract 3 dream homes during the times that my husband wasn't working. Well, he was working, but I was the primary provider financially. All right, so we're gonna go through it. Home number 1, number 2, number 3. All right, so picture this. I am in college. I am a junior. I've been with my boyfriend for, at that point, probably 6 or 7 years, if I'm doing the math correctly. About 5 years, 5 years. And we became pregnant, and that was not something that I expected, that he expected, that my parents expected. We became pregnant with our first child. That boyfriend is now my husband, and I needed to finish school. I wanted to finish school. My husband was working on his own aspirations, and so we ended up living in my parents' home. And my parents were very gracious at that time, and they actually switched me rooms and gave us the primary suite with an adjoining office. There was a complete primary suite with adjoining office, and they gave that up for us to stay there with our first baby. During that time, though, living with your parents, you're getting out of university, and my husband was 10 years older than me. He was in his 30s, early 30s, and we were like, okay, well, he was working, but not working. I mean, he kind of was earning, but not consistently, and I had a full-time job as the manager of an ice cream shop, which was, at that time, was part-time because I was also doing school. So it's like, well, how are we going to get our own place, right? We also have a newborn baby, and we're not sleeping, and he was colicky and just really not sleeping. And so we just set our eyes on it. And my husband is a genius at this. And by the way, this experience, he would utilize these skills to do what he does now as a developer who creates multi-million-dollar neighborhoods for families. So he just kind of, we would drive around, that's how we would spend time together. And we found this road, and it caught our attention because it was called Martha Avenue. My name is Martha. And we drove into it, and right then and there was a cute little ranch style 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and no, I'm sorry, 1 bath. And it was a foreclosure. We couldn't even go inside. We couldn't look inside, but we just knew that was our house. And so we didn't know how we were going to pay for it. We didn't know how we were going to buy it. We didn't know how we would get approved for a loan. And so we went ahead, what we would do is we would just drive to it every day as if we were going home. We would go somewhere, and then before going to my parents' house, we would drive to that house as if we were going home. And we didn't worry about the how, but my husband put steps into place to make it happen, right? So that's like that big 3-letter word in attraction. He acted, right? acted to that attraction. He took action. And he figured out what bank owned it, had a loan with it. And at that time, it was much easier to acquire foreclosures because it wasn't as well of a known thing. And he created a relationship with the woman in charge of the account. And he shared our family information, and at that point we were now expecting our second baby, probably by the time we were doing this. And we we're told, put in an offer, put in what you can. And can you imagine this? Are you gonna listen to the offer that we put in? All right, it's gonna blow your mind. Um, we um, we put we went to the local real estate office, and we found whatever real estate agent was working at that time, and we put in an offer of $59,000. Can you imagine a 3-bedroom, 1 bath in the North Hills of Pittsburgh, if you're familiar with the area? Let me tell you, that house is now worth 250,000, right? So that tells you how times were different. And we put in that offer. The next day, we went to out to eat to celebrate, acting as if, right? We acted as if, and we celebrated as if we already got the house. And during that lunch, we went to the place where we had our first date. During that lunch, acting as if it already had happened, we received the news that I've never seen an approval this quick and this easy. You got the house. And then we kind of worried about, our in-laws were gracious enough to co-sign on it, and my husband had quite the collection of guitars. He still does, and he sold as many guitars as he could to get the down payment on the house. And my job was enough to show proof of being able to make the mortgage payment, which I remember was $750 a month. And I would pay that thing twice a month. And so, we could pay it off quicker and quicker. By the way, I don't want to forget to mention our sponsor, Black Aswad Coffee. They are so gracious to allow us to do this show. Without them, we wouldn't do it. They are the one coffee blend that is rich, is bold, and also benefits the mental health industry. So we got the house, right? And then we had 4 beautiful children in that house. And I love how Instagram filters, you could tell I have a filter on, because whenever I run my coffee mug in front, if you're watching this, because this is obviously going to be played on the podcast platform, but I'm recording live without a guest, and that allows me to record live on Facebook and Instagram. And when I run my coffee mug in front of my face, you could tell that there's a filter. I gave myself away, but I digress, as I always do. So 3 more children later, we're expecting our 5th. And my husband decides we need a new house. We were kind of trying to figure out this solution between our kids went to school about a half hour away, and I wasn't going to be working at that location. They went to school near my work location, and I wasn't going to be, and it was just such a haul for me to get them there every day. We loved the school. We did everything we possibly could to get a freaking house in that area. We, did all the things. We would go for a house that was our house. We felt it in our hearts. It was the house, and we'd write them a letter, and we didn't get the house. We would go for the house, and it was a perfect house, and it was in a cul-de-sac, and it was just what we needed, and in the greats, right by where we needed to be. And we go to sign the papers, and the real estate agent gets notice that they are no longer accepting our offer. Don't even put in an offer. Right? And at that point, we had already sold our first house, get this, for $148,000 cash. We were back in my parents' basement. We put in an offer on another house, and this time we accepted the offer, and it was going to be another fixer-upper. But then we realized that there was mold and radon, and so something happened. I don't even remember exactly, but the rug was pulled from underneath us. And honestly, a lot of it was that just didn't feel right. There was something off about that. And so it wasn't 100% hell yes. So we weren't going to settle. And there was also some other issues, and including potential mold and radon. And so, if I'm saying that correctly. And so we were in my parents' basement. What was supposed to be a couple weeks for a couple years. Okay? Guess what happened? That one school we were trying to get closest to closed. We had to find another school for our kids anyways. My mom, during that time, became diagnosed with cancer for the second time in her life. And I got to be there and didn't have to juggle going home to my kids. I got to be there to help take care of her and be fully present for her and be fully present with my kids. And at that time, life was so full and crazy that I took on a full-time position in a publishing house. So then as my mom got better, I got to have like full-time childcare in a separate part of the home. At this point, we moved into there was an in-law suite that we were living in. It was essentially two bedrooms, one bathroom, and then we had the whole downstairs living room. So we had our own little apartment. But that was divinely planned, right? And then sure enough, we were driving around, okay? Here we go again. We're driving around. We try for another house in this neighborhood that we think is perfect. And we just can't get it. We try everything we can. We just can't get it. It wasn't even on the market. As we're trying to act as if and drive to that house, as if it's our house, we drive down the street and there's an estate sale. It's at a cul-de-sac, just like the other houses we were trying to get. It's in a good school district, but close to the new private school we were trying to send our kids to. And so my husband did what he does best, found out who the owner was, who the lender was, what the situation was. Turns out this house had been vacant for 10 years. It was a devastating family situation, and they were looking for, just an easy sale. Turned out the representing real estate agent worked in the same office as our real estate agent. We put in an offer for just the amount that we were approved for, got the house, got to work. In the process, there was so much. There was carpenter ants all throughout, woodpeckers. The house basically barely had good bones. We completely rehabbed the thing, all new floors, studs, refinished all the bathrooms, brand new kitchen, brand new siding, brand new roof, brand new everything. Stuff with contractors nonstop. Work halted for months, running out of money, nearly bankrupting us. But we did it. And in the process, I got to spend more time with my parents. And little did I know that about 5 years later, my mom would pass. So I got to spend that extra time with her. And my dad would be diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Hi, Alone VJ3. Thanks for joining. And that was super special, right? So we got into the house and I don't know, I just had this feeling of, I hate to say it, but it never felt like home. There was no explicable feeling for it. It never felt at home. Even though we had put so much work towards living there, it was a beautiful home, great neighborhood, great neighbors, great community, great school district, even though we were at private schooling. Close to our in-laws, close to my parents, just something felt off about it. I never could put my finger on it. And then I started to get this hunch of, I would love to live on water. Oh, that's weird. Talking to myself. Where are you going to live on water in Pittsburgh, Marta? Okay, I'm just going to still follow my intuition. I'm going to put it on a vision board. I'd like to live on water. And shortly after, and then I put some pictures of what I would want the bedroom to look like and what I would want the entrance to look like, a long driveway lined with beautiful trees. Sure enough, my husband comes home, who's now in the land development industry, and says, there's a project I'm going to get involved in, and it would mean that we would need to live in this home. Would you like to live in this home? It was a beautiful home, the home we live in now, on a sprawling property, perfectly lined by trees. That entrance was on the water. I'm looking at it right now. A beautiful little lake. And guess what? Everything fell apart. It would be years before we would move in. There was lawsuits, bad partnerships gone bad. We're not going to get it. Yes, we're going to get it. It's not going to happen. Yes, we're going to happen. Up until the day we moved in, my husband wasn't sure. And sure enough, the day happened. I had never seen this house, by the way. Never saw house number 1, just trusted God. Barely saw house number 2, just trusted God. We didn't do an inspection. I don't know that I would recommend that, but I just trusted God. And this house, never saw the inside, just pictures. At least I saw pictures. I trusted God. And even when things went awry and everything was threatened, our kids, even when we moved in, stuff happened that was like, we might need to move out. We might lose everything. And just the most bogus stuff. And I just felt calm within, at peace, because I knew that this was our house. And also I knew that if it wasn't, God's got me. God had us so many times, right? And so I just continue living in here. And by the way, leading up to moving here and leading up to moving here and getting the house, we would drive here as if it was our house. I would say, Michael, let's drive to our house. And it's a very private drive, so we couldn't like drive up to it, otherwise it would be creepy, but you could see the house from the passing street, and we would drive to it as if it was our house. I kept those pictures on my vision board as if it was my house. And sure enough, we moved in, and now it's our house. And it's part of a project with Michael and his land development company, and I'm just so grateful every single day that I get to look out this window, and also many windows, and I get to see the water that I dreamt and manifested. But I don't want to forget to name our sponsors, because the show would not be possible without Black Aswad Coffee. Go to blackaswadcoffeecode.com to get your blend and use the code AWESOME15 for a special offer. The show wouldn't be possible without them. Hi, Susan. I just got done telling the story of the 3 houses, how I manifested our 3 houses, my 3 dream houses, and the things I did, guys. Okay, so if you haven't been taking notes, key things that you can do to manifest what you would love to attract, right, is number 1, believe that you can have it, that it's yours, right? With every single house, we just knew it was ours. We didn't question God. We knew God put that in our hearts, and we just knew. We believed it, right? So if you don't believe it, then you're right. It's not going to happen for you. Number 2, we acted as if. Remember, we drove to each house as if it was our house. We took action steps also to move forward towards it, even though we didn't know the how. And we acted as if, and we celebrated getting the houses before we actually knew in the human realm that we got them. And of course, the biggie, one my BB likes to take credit for, because she introduced me to vision boards long ago, is I had that vision board that I would look at every single day. I would look at the house. I would look at the entrance lined with trees, and I believed it. Like, I didn't know how, but I knew it was going to be it. It was going to happen. So I want you to take those pointers into your own life and see what you can allow to occur for you as you take those steps. And this is also the reason why I celebrate this property almost every year. I have a little, as my colleague Mary Lee called it, because she has one coming up too, a petite retreat. I call it a mini retreat coming up, where we're going to be infused with nature. We'll be fully nourished with the most delicious food throughout to not only feed us, but fuel us. Hi, Sinan. I was just telling everyone about how I manifested the 3 houses of my desires, and I'm wrapping up, so I hope that you'll listen and watch the replay. And also, what we'll be doing at this mini retreat that I'm hosting on my property is we'll have a wildflower picking and arrangement workshop led by the Blue Daisy Floral Design. We will have mini facials, and we will have infrared light treatments by Spa Marie Claire, and I'll guide you through meditation and guided journaling, so that whatever is on your heart, you're taking time to allow yourself to receive the divine calling for your next steps, and so much more. It is going to be an evening filled with all light and love, with high vibe ladies around you to lift you up in spirit and in prayer. And I'm limiting it to 10 spots. And right now it is at a special introductory pricing for you to join us. It's at an incredible pricing for everything that's included. And proceeds go to benefit the Hope Hope Farm Sanctuary in the North Hills of Pittsburgh that was badly hit by the storms, and they're trying to rebuild and take care of their animals. This is an all in nature infused retreat. We're basically glamping, guys. It's all about nature and connecting with the earth and our divine selves. And so, of course, it goes to benefit an environmental cause that benefits the earth and its creatures. I'm Marta Saray Greca. I am your host, and I am also a financial rep that helps families to attract and protect money in your life and what to do to allow it to grow and best serve your family too. I'm also a business coach to emerging entrepreneurs, and I teach you what they don't teach you in school. You went to school or maybe became an expert at your expertise that you offer in your business, or maybe you have a heart calling for that thing you want to offer and get generously paid for, but you don't know how. You wouldn't even know where to begin. I am there to tell you the key steps that will allow you to attract profit, peace, and plenty of time to be free and relax and enjoy your life as you do it and you do your God-given purposed work in a way that you could take this formula and repeat it throughout the life of your business and continue to prosper and grow. And you could take this formula and allow it to inspire you for any future business ideas. And don't forget, I used to have the agency, Media the Creative Agency. I have that still up as an homage because it served its purpose. It was an energy that provided for my family, and now it's complete. But I've now merged forces with my brother, Michel Saray, who is an Emmy Award winning, fabulous artist in the cinematography and photography world. And I actually support him while he focuses on the zone of genius, on the behind the scenes production and directing, and strategizing. So I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, and as I mentioned, my husband is a land developer, and we're open to connecting relationships if you'd like to get involved in the land development world from a financing standpoint. Again, thank you so much to our sponsors, Black Aswad Coffee. Please go to blackaswadcoffeeco.com. Please help to support the mental health industry. Every drop, every grain, every sip of the delicious coffee that I'm drinking right now goes to benefit organizations in the mental health industry. And you can pick your own mental health organization to benefit and partner with Black Aswad Coffee. Or you could just go to their website, use the code, get a special discount, and buy your own coffee. That is going to be tremendously delicious. I'm here for you. Please, if you like the show, awful, okay, awesome, meaning it's awful, it's okay, it's awesome. Stories of things gone wrong that were actually going right. Please hit subscribe and give us a 5-star review on a platform that allows you to. If you're watching on a platform that allows you to comment, please leave a comment. Tell me, where are you listening from and what word, what point really resonated with you from this episode. Alrighty? I love every one of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.